React Native tutorial. So in this session we are going to learn about React Native, how do we create an application and how do we deploy, and what is the client library used for React Native application to run with. React Native is a new JavaScript framework which is used to develop mobile applications for iOS and as well as Android. It is based on React and as well as JavaScript library, and this library is by Facebook, and also it is used to create with the various type of layout, components and user interfaces. Main target of React Native library is mobile platform rather than the browser, we can say. And the React Native main advantages, if we can see, it is cross-platform usage, like it can be deployed on both on Android and as well as iOS devices. And also the performance-wise, React Native is always compiled into the native code, and which enables both operating systems, Android and as well as iOS. So JavaScript with React Native is to build your native mobile applications so that it will run in both the operating systems. A very large community support is available for React and both React Native as well. And the main thing is the rendering process in React Native is much faster compared with all other JavaScript frameworks. And whenever you do some few changes with your source code, it is immediately get affected into your application. That is what is the advantage. And coming to, if you look into your application, first of all you need a new library to create your React Native application. So just like for React, we say npm install -g create React app. Now we need to give here as create React Native app. Let's go into the location where you wanted to create with your application. You just first install npm install -g create React Native -app. This is a library you need to download first. This is for making to create your React Native applications. And further we need the client library called as Expo CLI. So this is a framework which is used to run with your React Native applications on various platforms. And this is a lightweight client library to deploy your React Native applications and also to observe your rendering process and all the operations with your native applications. So next step is, once this is downloaded, you just need to install -g Expo CLI. So this is a client library you need to download. This is the next step. Then you can create with a sample React Native application by using the tool called as the React Native CLI tool. Just now we downloaded. Use that tool to create your app. So create React Native app is a command, and this is your app name. It could be any name. You can give any name for your application and start creating an app. So let's say it is downloading the library. So by the time we see here, it's already created shopping application, we can see. Now if we can look into the dependencies needed for our React Native, whenever we create with the create React Native application, it is going to take all your scripts used to run your React Native application on both the platforms, Android and as well as iOS. You can also deploy your application on the emulators available for Android and iOS on a browser as well. And the number of dependencies you can see here, along with your React and React DOM. In addition to that, you need a React Native SDK. So this is what is the main library we need. You can observe the dependencies. And in this application, like let me open the application which we created here. See, still that Expo CLI is getting installed. So here is a shopping application we are going to look into. The same application I can also show here. This is a shopping application where we have all the node modules. You can observe this is the number of node modules we need for our React application, React Native application. And coming to, we have the component here, the component, and as well as we are going to load the data from a JSON file. That is the JSON file we have, the same code we are opening here. The content we have in the app.json, we have some product details. This is the product details we would like to open into our React Native component. Now if we can look into our component, the main component here we have is called app.js. So in the app.js, very first component, let us just create a text box, only a text box, and then we will try to monitor our React Native application. The component looks like same React application, the functional component where we have the features of return and then as well as your JSX. Everything looks the same. And then here we are going to look few of the components called as view, text. This is coming from React Native library. So by making use of these component libraries, we are going to render our application. Very first thing, just we are creating a view component where we are going to load with a container component with some style, and then we are going to create a text component where we wanted to just give a heading of shopping cart and we wanted to output a text. This is a text as usual, like in React we are using a React hook to load some text. Right, this is what we would like to run first, this application which is created. So still it is downloading. So I will show you at the end how do we create an application. So this is already available, just let's get run that application. So to run the application, just we need to give npm start, go to the console, give npm start. So when you start this, like now we are going to use a Expo related library called as metro config. So that is the metro config you can observe in the node modules. The metro library is available, so which is used to show you the deployment steps. So here is Expo. So this is a metro React Native, metro config, metro core. This is a library and the modules, npm modules we are using for deployment. So we just wanted to run our application. Here is React Native application default will be running on 19000 port number. And this React Native application, if you wanted to deploy on your mobile devices, so in your Metro UI console, it is going to display a QR code. That is a QR code you can scan by through app called as, the app you need to call is app name is Expo app. You need to go to Play Store and download Expo app, and there you can deploy your application. You can open and you can monitor the application. So here just we would be running onto our browser itself. Expo CLI is getting updated. So by the time it is done, we can also see how to create a React Native application. You just go to a new folder where you would like to create a React Native new application. Right? We are here. Now you wanted to create a new application. Create React Native app space. Here is an app name. So here is an app name you wanted to create with course CRUD app. Okay. Simply you wanted to perform some course CRUD operations or product CRUD operation. Just we would like to create this application. So this is a tool, command line tool is going to make use of creation of your new React Native project. So it is going to start with creation of your application. Expo CLI is a command which is used to deploy your application on browser, and as well as it supports both Android device and as well as iOS device. Sometimes there may be a possible error like a regular expression related error for mapping purpose. So in that case you can just refer to within the node modules metro config, where you will find src defaults blacklist.js file. So here is like you need to add with what are all the various list of URLs you wanted to blacklist, and you wanted to give that expression for that. You just need to add it. If this is a regular expression is not matching, you may get some errors while deploying your application. So this is the possible error. Maybe you can do it into your application while deploying. Once this is done, when you run with this command called npm start, now your metro library will open your console like this. This is the screen get displayed. Then here are the options you have called. You can run it on a Android UI console, Android emulator or iOS emulator, or on the browser. So you have all the options. Whichever option you wanted to prefer, you can use it. If you wanted to open in an Android device, you just download a new app called as Expo. Expo app with the React Native client supporting. So open that app and then scan this barcode which is generated by your application, deployed application. So immediately you are able to see your application layout in your mobile device, right? So this is the process to deploy. Now here is, we would like to deploy our application. npm start. If you are starting the application in multiple locations, it may ask you whether to choose a different port number to deploy your application. Wherever it starts first, let's run with that. Okay. So Expo CLI installation is completed, and here we can observe, yeah, still it is going on. We need to wait some more time. So we are installing Expo CLI globally as well, and as well as that is the CLI tool we need, okay, to run our application. The command is same for React and as well as React Native, npm start. So only the final step we need is once it is opened with your port number, default port number called 19000, you just need to open the browser URL. By default it will open, and there you need to scan through your QR code if you wanted to test your application on a mobile device. You wanted to open the emulator in the browser itself, yes, it is possible. Or else you can open without emulator support, just you wanted to open your application as a browser application, you just can also check in the browser. Now let's run the application. Now the application is going to be deployed on the port number 19002 because already we are running on the different console, so that's the reason it has chosen the different port number 19002. And as soon as the application is deployed, this React Native application, we can see on the browser, you are able to see this is your Metro Bundler console. In this console, you are able to see like run on Android device emulator. If you can download your Android device emulator into your system, you can open the emulator and where you can deploy the application. At the same time, it will support with iOS simulator as well. Now let us run with the browser. If in case if you are going to download the app called as Expo app, go to your Android Play Store and take this Expo app, Expo Go app. This is for React Native client application. When you take this app into your any mobile device, okay, just open that Expo app. It will ask you to scan. Whenever it asks for scan, you just need to scan this barcode. Similarly, here in our browser, we got this barcode. This is the what you need to scan in your Expo app, so that you can also check the same app in your mobile device. Now let's get open this in our browser. Just I am going to open the application in the browser. See here, this app is running here. There is a thread which is running in our a new browser window. It is going to open our application. So this is application is going to open another browser window where our app is getting deployed. So this is our shopping applications portal where we are able to see the data. So here is like first time when we are loaded with the list item child component, but I just did some changes. Let me save my file. I just wanted to display only the output text, and this is the library. So let me save my file so that immediately we can see the changes loaded with just only the text is displayed. This is what is a change. Suppose if you wanted to deploy this application with a button created below the shopping cart, so that whenever you click this button by using this React hook, you are going to replace. First it is going to be initialized with the test button on native app. Now you are going to replace it. This is what we would like to apply. So let us save it and we go here and refresh, reload the application. You could see now. Save it. Still the bundle get creating, it's not yet completed. Now we have loaded the application with this button created. Whenever you click on this button, it is going to replace your content, right? Similar to that, now let's say we would like to load a set of tabular elements along with its data. So I wanted to load a child component called list item. So the list item is going to show you your elements which are present in your db.json. This is a child component we have where we are going to display with the number of products you wanted to display. For example, here I would like to exclude this image first. See, here you can observe the view, the scroll view, the text, button. These all are coming from your React Native library. Just save it. We did some changes in the child component. This is the child component we are going to load into our parent component app. Now we would able to observe here the changes. So again the bundle is getting updated. So when you deploy, just you go to Android Play Store, download the app called Expo app, which is supporting with the React Native client, and then you just scan this barcode, which is displayed on your This is a barcode. If you can scan, you are able to open in any of the Android device. Now it's get completed. Now let us observe here the items are loaded. This is how the list of items can be displayed. And similar to that, like if you wanted to load in the list item, along with the image of your for that particular image, you wanted to give this image URL into your db.json. So this is a property if you are going to load with, you are able to see the images as well. This is how you can deploy your application. Still it is going to bundle. Still bundling is going on. Let me just restart my application. It's not required, but just like that I am showing you. So now once again it is opening on a different port number 9002. Now your app is getting loaded. So once it is loaded successfully, then only the barcode is generated. See here. Now the builder Metro bundler is started. Whenever Metro bundler is started, your barcode is generated. Right? Now we will run in the web browser. It will take a here web browser client for Expo, and then it is going to load into your new browser window. This is how it is going to deploy your React Native application, and we can run with the Expo client. We have still many more client applications for React Native application. I think in the list component, whatever we did the change, it is not yet saved. Just let us save it, and we go here and we reload the application. Now we are able to see the images for each and every application. Right? Finally, we get this change text button and we are able to change it. That's all, guys. This is about React Native application. It is going to support with both the platforms, iOS and as well as Android platform. This is mainly targeted for developing your web applications on mobile platform. That's all. Thank you.